I must say it's really exciting to be back again on Breakfast Weekend on Impact Africa Television after about 2 weeks of this, well, compulsory holiday that we had to take, because of the elections, the National Assembly elections and the presidential elections that took place last week. Remember, it was rescheduled. It was initially supposed to be 16th, and so that was why Breakfast Weekend didn't come, and then we had to give you the situation of things as it was unfolding at that time. However, Breakfast Weekend is back again. My name is Ayo Durojaye, and I welcome you on board a very jolly ride. Today we have a number of things already lined up just for you. It's Saturday, so whatever it is you like to drink at this time of the day, just lay back on a chair and enjoy this jolly ride. Like I said, my name is Ayo Durojaye, and I have a special person on air with me this morning. How are you doing, Wura?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And I'm very glad you're here with us. I'm happy you're here on Breakfast Weekend today. Like you said, Breakfast Weekend is back. So we have a lot of interesting things lined up for you today.
No matter how small, if it's handiwork that you have, you're an artisan, probably a fashion designer, hairdresser, or whatever, you can make it right here. You can. And, all this will be eliminated. I don't think anyone will come to anybody's country to pick them up for slave trade. We're past that age by so many miles. And so I'm looking forward to a time where people will begin to understand these things. People will begin to make use of this information. You do not have to. And if you do have to, because, all this we're saying, some people are saying, la ye, I have to I have to go. If you have to, make sure you save enough money to go the right way, to follow the right channel. Going through the back end, maybe it worked for some people. However, you will not hear the sad tales. Nobody will, unless somebody becomes the next victim.
Yes, and don't forget, there's no place like home. So just stay in Nigeria. All the job you're planning to go and do there, all the hard work you're planning to go and put into their economy, just stay in Nigeria and give it to us.
And give it to us. Yes, you had something about Babatunde Omidino earlier.
Yes, quite sad, although it got a little bit better.
Okay.
He actually came out to tell people that he has been ill for quite a while, and he was asking for help. He was everywhere talking about it. He was asking for help. He said he has been ill, he has been flown abroad, and he needs money. So he came out pleading for money from Nigerians, and quite a number of people have responded. Even some of his colleagues actually. So one man, actually a philanthropist, actually gave him 10 million naira to treat himself, and a lot of people came up about it. Did you hear anything about it?
I did. I actually saw a video. It was an OAP, someone in Ibadan, who had a live video of him online, and I kept. It was an emotional interview. He burst out into tears.
Yes.
And this is the Babasuwe, the Babatunde Omidino, who was a big deal. He still is a big deal, especially when you're looking at the comedy section of the Nollywood industry here. And so him having to have gone through all that, he said he had sold everything that he owns, and that's why he's coming to Nigerians at this time, to help him. It's sad, and I pray that he gets all the help. I pray that he gets healed, at the end of the day, and finally, everything will go back. We can't afford to miss Obasui on our screens. Not at this time. When he's ripe, when he's old, yes, but now, no.
Yes.
And so we wish him a very quick recovery.
We do.
On the menu today, on Breakfast Weekend, we have a number of juicy stuff. Intellectual property is something that a lot of people talk about in, something that is something that is not, that is far removed from our reality. But copyright is a thing. Copyright is a big deal. And so we'll be taking a look at that this morning. What else are we looking at, Wura?
Well, we are also looking at making Nigeria great again. Yes, we would have a guest talking about it. We also have that on our menu. And also business etiquette. Yes.
A lot of people think to do business, we're talking about certain people taking whatever money they have and using it to set up a business and that it will thrive. Many people believe it's just about the capital, it's just about looking good, it's just about, just a few things. And not knowing that just as you have table manners, you should also have business etiquette. And you find out all about it this morning on Breakfast Weekend. It promises to be a beautiful ride. It promises to be an interesting one. You stay with us. We'll be back. Many thanks for staying tuned to Breakfast Weekend on Impact Africa Television. Now, we're starting off our discussion this morning with preserving intellectual property. Like I said earlier, intellectual property, copyright laws, people see them, people know what these things mean. However, how aware are we of the grave consequences that that exist if you infringe on somebody else's copyright? We know that copyright is the right to use another person's work. However, do we feel as if we're using somebody else's work, or we're just gathering resource for whatever it is we're working on? And to talk with us about it this morning, we have Mr. Unique Oliver. He is the president, IP and IT Law Club. We also have Mr. Babatunde Akorede, who is a filmmaker and scriptwriter. You know, we have two guests from two different worlds. One from the copyright and intellectual property world, and the other, you know, from the content providing world. And so we see how copyright and what copyright means to both of them. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good to have you here.
How are you doing? Now, I'd like to start with you, Mr. Unique Oliver. Copyright, what does it mean exactly in the Nigerian environment?
Okay, copyright simply refers to the right to use a particular creative work.
Okay.
Great emphasis on that word creative, because you cannot just come and look at a work and say, okay, this work deserves to be well protected by copyright. So before we consider a work to be protected by copyright, it's very, very important that sufficient effort must have been made in that work to give it that original nature. So after you have that, the next thing is to ensure that that work is fixated. That means that work is written down somewhere. That work is in a position whereby I can always refer and say, okay, I made this particular work in 2016, I made this particular work in 2018, I made this particular work in 2019. With that, you can always bring your evidence and claim ownership for that work.
So from your personal experience, do we have people actually making use of that copyright law?
Yes, we have. Every filmmaker put to make good use of the copyright law, but however, we know ignorance can always be an excuse to prevent people from not knowing much about it. That's why it's always good for us to have proper awareness about it. However, we have a lot of people that make use of the copyright law.
I like that you mentioned filmmaker, because we have one right here to defend his people and his craft. What do you say? What does copyright? How important would you say filmmakers, for example, who are constantly dropping, you know, creative works? How important would you say your colleagues and yourself inclusive take copyright and copyright laws?
Yeah, basically, these days, let's say we have too many talented people out there and too many things that are coming for people. In the sense that gone are those days when limited crafts were flying around, so we could always trace the people that are in line of the business, in line of, okay, probably filmmaking, probably script writing, like they were numbered. So it's not like these days that, okay, we have it's a lot of congested now. It's quite congested now. We have too many people in the line of getting that craft. So everybody wants to put something out there. Everybody wants to do something. Everybody wants to fly their name around. Meaning, having a deep content, or even if it is meaningless, everybody wants to do something. Okay, look at the social media now, for instance. The rate at which people drop content, either valuable or not valuable, the way people just put out their content on social media, whereby they just want to, they just do it for social references, social relevance. So people don't, these days, people take it with levity. They don't tend to understand the essence of the copyright itself, because we have too many content. Let's say we have too many content from people flying about. So all majority of the youths these days, or we youths these days, all we do these days is that we just want to fly around. We just want to do something. We just want to put it out there, regardless of what could come out of it, regardless of what could later what it could later brew. You know, we just want to.
The amount of content a person is putting out, should he have a direct should it have something it takes away from getting it copyrighted in the first place?
No, not at all. I don't believe from my own perspective. No, not at all. But then, when we have too many people that have, Nigeria is quite blessed with so many talented people, with so many people in different fields that are deep, and that they don't even. I have some people who don't even think too much before they put out something tangible, before they put out something meaningful to the world. So, and people are not given brilliant opportunities to showcase what they have, to let the world know that okay, this is what they can do. So in the course of that, they tend to want to, or in a haste, to let people know that okay, fine, this is what they can do. They tend to throw out what they have without thinking of the consequences, without thinking of okay, someone somewhere who can as well remodify what you have and put it out there as their own stuff, as their own craft. So a lot of the problem is arising as a result of the fact that people are. It said something about ignorance. A lot of people don't really know the essence. They don't really know the value of you placing a copyright on your job, on your craft. They don't tend to know how important it is, because we have too many coming in.
Mr. Oliver, how important really is it? If we're saying you need to copyright your work, we have people whose work has been copyrighted, and then somebody still takes it. So what's the importance really?
One is very, very important to have your work copyrighted, but there is no clear process of okay, this is how to make my work copyrighted. That is why some jurisdiction will tell you that a copyright notice is very, very sufficient for the work. That's why some people use the word C 2019 and you put your full name. Using that word copy 2019 is enough if your work meets the requirement for copyright protection, such as, like I said earlier on, that it must be sufficient effort must have been made to give it an original work, and it must be fixated. For instance, a film that is still on the process, we can still see it's not yet fixated, but once that film is being completed, it's fixated because everybody can have access to it and we can see it. So it's not just an idea existing in someone's head. It's not existing. So this is it now. Anybody taking another person's property, because I said intellectual property, is clear infringement, copyright infringement. And if you do that, you are entitled to be sued. It's against the law. It's against is a breach of fundamental human right, because intellectual property is still a property and everybody has right to his own intellectual property. So
it's equivalent to being you're robbing someone of maybe their valuables.
Okay, actually, Mr. Akorede mentioned something the other time. He mentioned modification, but I would like to direct my question to you, Mr. Oliver. If the work has been modified in some form, does the copyright law still apply? Like, is it still stealing?
Yes, because there is an original work existing. So the fact that you're infringing on an original work to create your own, despite the fact it's being modified, no, it's still an infringement. You ought to request for permission first before you move further to modify that work. But we also want to conclude the fact that yes, after modification, you are also entitled to copyright protection for modifying that existing work. You're entitled to copyright protection. But first, it's important to note that you using another person's work to modify your work, you also obtain permission for that. And in legal parlance, we call it license.
Okay, all right.
Now, for a person whose work, they say in the creative world, ideas are always flying around, and it's possible for two people to have exactly the same idea. Now, in a situation where I didn't copyright my work, this person didn't copyright their work. I mean, it's just that's what I did now, and this one's saying, yeah, that's what I did too. What should be done in that environment?
Okay, now, like I said, idea.
Okay.
The law does not protect an idea until it's being fixated, until it's being written down, until it's being documented, until it's being placed in a position where I can always refer that, okay, this is my idea.
Yeah, for example, a movie. If you write a movie, every movie in Nigeria has see something at the end. Doesn't mean they're all copyrighted, are they? Because if this is coming up, it's people just it's an emblem now. It's not as much of a legal document, so to say.
Okay, I think
so
it's a legal document at that point where it's done writing.
Okay.
And includes that notice C 2018. That work is automatically protected by copyright. You don't need to file it at any company. You don't need to file that. It's automatically protected by copyright. So many people don't really understand that fact. They feel that okay, I still have to go to Nigeria Copyright Commission to ensure that my work is being protected by copyright. It does not really work like that. Once you've made sufficient effort to give that work an original nature, you cannot come out and say, okay, this is my work. You put the year, you can put the dates. Yeah, some people do that actually. Most people, graphic designers, artists, they go an extra mile to put the exact date they created that work, and they give it to you that this is my work. So whether you exploit the work, whether you modify the work, it's still my work, and I still have enough reference and evidence to prove that this work belongs to me.
If it's modified, how would anyone know?
Yeah,
We all learnt summary while in secondary school, and so you turn the work inside out. A number of times you see in our Nollywood movies, I'm sorry, Mr. Korede, being a Nigerian version of some Indian movies. For example, what should be done in that situation?
Yeah, once you have sufficient evidence to prove that yes, this work is a modification of my work and permission was not duly obtained, like the person should be able to sue. You should sue the person for taking your work, and the body is now on the person to prove that I did not take your work.
Have you ever had a situation, Mr. Korede?
Several situations. It happened to me in my last movie.
Okay.
These days things are evolving. We filmmakers, we don't really capitalize on the CDs we sell out. Movies coming out on CDs and we don't look at that as our profit margin, our profit a means of making our profit. We now go online. You can see the YouTube is bombarded these days.
Yes.
And you have stations on YouTube. You have you get people to start subscribing on YouTube on a particular channel just to generate views and to be paid. So these days now we have so many so many thieves on YouTube thieves. Let me put it that way. That do lift other people's job and put it on their channel.
Wow.
Without even no authorized permission or any other thing or any form of legal what is it called? So but then these days it happened to me on my last movie. I just happened to find the title of my movie. When I produced that movie and the advert was flying around, it was a catchy advert and I knew a lot of people. Turned out to be that a lot of people liked it and all that. The response was great even before the movie came out. The advert alone, the trailer alone that was flying around was quite good. So I just found out that an old movie on YouTube was being a movie was being placed on YouTube with my title, with my new title. It's an old movie. How come an old movie
has a new title?
He has a new title. So I was just dumbfounded. I was like, what is this? But then thank God that YouTube copyright infringement it's one of the a deal. It's a big deal on YouTube.
Okay.
So the moment it happens like that, you just table complain. You just mail them. Okay, so this social person is trying to infringe my blah 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 blah, and you can prove it. You can tell them, okay, I was the first person to put this thing out there, and blah blah blah. They're going to take it down.
Did you complain?
Yeah, I did, and they took it down.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a victory.
So that's one reason why a lot of people should look into, because so many people don't have. You might not have the craft you have now and the energy you have to put out a job to the world. Some people are not given the grace to keep doing that. You can do just one job and end up not doing any other.
And then somebody steals it.
And then somebody steals it. What happens to you? What happens to your label? What happens to all the things? What happens to all the things you put inside that? So if I was not being smart enough and if I was not informed enough, I wouldn't have. It could have just wrecked my movie. Could have wrecked me.
And it wasn't even out at that time.
It was
just
out.
a trailer.
Yeah. So people would just be like, okay, fine. When
your movie now comes out, you'll be the one who copied.
They'll just be like, we've seen this movie before now.
Wow.
And the movie ended up not doing well on YouTube, and the losses to the original producer, to the original content owner. So you have to be informed. You have to be aware.
Well, Mr. Korede, there's this saying that there is nothing new in the world.
Yeah.
Like, at what point do you cross the line from being inspired, probably by maybe a movie you've seen before, and at what point do you cross that point, like from being inspired from what you've seen before and stealing it, maybe writing something along that line? Some people will claim, I got my inspiration from this. Like, at what point do you cross that
Actually,
boundary?
learning for me, it's not all about going to school alone. We learn every day. So seeing other people's job and seeing the way they do it excellently well, and you feel like you want to do something quite beautiful like that, you are learning. It's a learning process. So the moment you see something, the moment you see a craft, and it tells you, okay, fine, I love the way this storyline is being told. I love the narrative. I love the way they change the narrative of this story. Something inside you tells you, okay, fine, when I want to come up with something next, I need to challenge myself. So you can necessarily not end up writing. You can necessarily not. It's belittling, trying to adapt the exact thing that you saw. It's supposed to serve as a motivation for you. So it will belittle you. It is demeaning to want to do the exact thing. No. For me, it serves as a motivation. It serves as a push for me. I believe I want to be challenged. I want to do something even to break what I saw. I want to be better than what I did last. So so we all watch international movies. We all watch. We all wish, as a filmmaker, every filmmaker's dream these days. Oscars, the Academic Award, is the biggest filmmaking award in history. So everyone wants to go for Oscars. Every filmmaker wants to buy. It's a dream of every good filmmaker to bag an Oscar. So you can't use the old system to break the new grounds. So you have to, if you want to, just like the song they sing sometimes, that if you want to be somebody, you have to wake up and pay attention. So if you want to actually do something that will be groundbreaking, that will be extraordinary, you have to be ready to do it the way people are doing it. People who broke that ground are doing it. Your predecessors, the pioneers. You have to watch them and see what they have done. You have to really look into how they were able to maneuver those things, how they were able to recreate, to restructure, to divert, to expand. You have to really see. So it's a learning process for everyone who says, okay, fine, it's just the way you are presenting. So if I have a thing for presenting, I must have picked one or two things from you people. Okay, probably your articulation, the way you articulated your tenses, or probably the way you let it out, or probably the way your gesticulations, or probably the way I must have had something that I would have picked from you.
Sure.
So which might necessarily not be exactly the way you did it, but then I must have been triggered to, okay, fine, this is the way I saw this person do it. Okay, fine, I think I can do it better, or I think I can do it more efficient.
So that's what somebody's work should get from you, not you trying to
don't try to
do the exact thing.
Somebody's work. It should motivate you. It should push you.
Some would say it's not exactly stealing. Wura, remember on another program we were talking about two authors, a Nigerian based in the UK and Nora Roberts, the well-known Nora Roberts. They wrote a book, and some of the wordings, it wasn't even the same composition, but some of the words in the title, blood of something and something of the child, and then it was even the lady whose work came later that first screamed fox, or what did they used to scream now? And she at first was confused. That's Nora Roberts now. At the end of the day, you'd realize nobody actually copied anyone's work. So in a situation where there are works that are similar, both that have copyright, what should be done?
Okay, at this point, I would like to lay a difference. Now, there's copyright protection, there's what we call trademark protection.
Good.
So for some titles, for movie titles, for book title, they have been protected by trademark and not copyright. So the difference between the trademark and copyright in terms of protection is this now. For a trademark, you have to apply to register that particular title. So had it been the Nigerian lady, I can't remember her name.
So
she went to ensure that trademark, that song title is well registered. So that would be an easy thing to just call Nora Robot and I registered this particular trademark, this particular title, and I deserve an explanation to how come we're having the same title. And the other person, Nora Robot, can also bring her own trademark registration too and say, okay, I registered this trademark. And we just look at it because this is the trademark is based on jurisdiction.
Okay.
So in Nigeria, there's no how Adibina robots in Nigerian too. So you guys can come up and okay, this is it now. This particular work was in existence. So there's no how you can get a trademark registration for that.
Quite like the CAC registration as well.
CAC registration, trademark registration, it's very, very different. It's very, very different. So when you have registration for that movie title that you talked about now, so let's assume you came up with the trailer and every other thing, and the movie title is online, and I go ahead to do the same thing for another work entirely and use that same title, and I go ahead to register that work, I deserve protection because I follow the law. I follow the basic principle, the law, according to protection of intellectual property. So it's very, very important why creatives are working on their craft that they should not ignore the role of intellectual property lawyers, because we are not just lawyers when you get into trouble. We are lawyers to generate wealth for you guys too. So it's very important that at that point you are done with creating your work. Meet an intellectual property lawyer, speak to him. Okay, what can I do for this work? How can I ensure this work is well protected and not being infringed by another party? Because right now we have a lot of creative people that comes up with different slang, and that slang becomes a community and household name, and you see lots of commercials, TV commercials, and they use that same slang. So you keep on wondering that, wow, this is my slang. I spent hours thinking about this thing. If you understand,
and people are just throwing it around.
People are just using it.
But some people are happy.
Yes.
When things like that happen, they are becoming more popular. Even though they're not giving them credit for it.
Well,
But
I don't really agree
they can
with
always
that,
tell people that is mine.
that's mine.
Na me
Yeah,
own now.
yeah, we tend to have that mentality. There's this job we have, okay, yeah, that I brought that. But there's no greater joy than someone saying, okay, I brought this, and the person is giving you credit for bringing it. So it's more like me, okay, me sowing and reaping what I sowed. That's just what it's all about. So there's not that joy that the person recognizes that, okay, he's an author, and I have to give credit to that author. There's nothing as good as that. You have more acknowledgement and more peace of mind compared to when you just look at the person from far. The person doesn't know you exist, and the person tells you that, yes, this is my work, and no, it doesn't work like that. So the aim behind intellectual property law is to protect creatives, and like my boss always told me, like, to ensure that we create wealth for these creatives, because this is it, like, you cannot be creative and you're not generating profit. It's like you're just wasting your time and wasting the intellect you have. So once you can create something, you deserve to remuneration. You deserve payment for it. You deserve to make money through it, and that is the aim of intellectual property laws, to save creatives from save creative and ensure that their work are not being infringed by thieves, because they are thieves.
Well, speaking on law, are there provisions in the trademark law that you mentioned a while back? Are there provisions there that if I'm trying to maybe register my book title or maybe a movie title, are there provisions that would let me know that, okay, someone is already using this title?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
All
it's
right.
not just a one-day process. It can take 3 weeks or thereabouts. So there's a particular time that the trademark will be open for opposition. So if I have similar title, it's going to be brought to my notice, and I can, like, okay, I don't want this to come up. Why? Because
really?
it's going to create a confusion in the mind of my audience, thinking that this is a similar work. Meanwhile, we don't have any relationship.
Mr. Oliver, Nigerian movie industry, you will see Power of Love 1.
Seriously?
Somebody else
Yes.
entirely. The Love of Power.
Yeah.
Another one entirely.
Love
The same
and
Power of Love. And you know, at the end of each movie, you see 1998, C 20.
Well, like I
So what exactly is happening, especially in that industry as a
in that
content
industry,
copyright?
like I would say, that industry is very, very creative, and we keep on pushing content, great content. I won't deny that. But the fact is this: now many of them do this out of ignorance. Like I said, at that point you're choosing a title. Get an IP lawyer, speak with him. Okay, this is the title I want to choose.
IP lawyer collect money.
Yeah, they'll collect money, but everything, if you give out
The
value,
budget
I think
is
not
quite
really the
budgeted.
budget, but value. The value should take more priority.
Okay.
I'm not just an entertainment lawyer, because they really understand the industry, so they can tell you that, okay, have you filed trademark registration for this particular movie, for the movie title? So when you file trademark registration and you get the right to use that title, even if another person comes with something very, very similar, and you know the implication of that, you can tell the person to cease and desist from doing that, because you know that you have good backing. So the money that you are trying to save in your budget, you find that it's going to even give you more money, instead of you saying, I want to squeeze it. Just get an IP lawyer or an entertainment lawyer, and the person will really explain to you that this is what you have to do. This is because lawyers now are not just lawyers to tell you about the law. They are lawyers that help you with strategic actions. They help take strategic decision that enables you not to just when you get into trouble, you now call them back. You just call them back, man, I just made good money. That's how it should be. So not just when you get into trouble, I need a lawyer. But at that point when you're trying to drop the budget and everything, you didn't consider the fact you need a lawyer. So lawyers are meant to create wealth for creatives, and not meant to just come and meet you when you're in trouble. You come and look for them when you're in trouble. So it's good to have them at the initial stage, and also have them at the stage where the money comes in.
So that they can drop their title.
You know, you deserve that. Yes.
Well, so to conclude this segment now, what, apart from the work being taken down in the case of Mr. Korede, when the person who robs another person of their property, apart from that work being taken down, what else? Because if I'm thinking, if
Okay,
lasting, if impressionable things are not being done to such a person, they'll just keep doing it. If he was, you know, knowledgeable enough to know that I should report this, the next person may not know, and then they get away with it. So apart from the work being taken down, what else
Yeah.
is done?
The law provides a remedy, and that is account of profits.
Okay, what's that?
So for every money made from using his title, they are supposed to give it to him back. So that's the clear remedy that the law provides for. So that will actually take a long process, but the first is a cease and desist letter telling you to stop that. And that's clear evidence, because imagine you being informed that you are doing something wrong and you're being warned to stop that, and you still go ahead to do that. So you notice that even the profit that they're thinking they're going to make, they're not going to make that exact sum, because they will end up paying him. So that's why YouTube is also linked in such a way that you have to ensure that you put the name of the person, the original owner of the song. So I heard the way the commission is really is the way it works, and in such a way that the person, the original author, receives royalties and not that person. So the way the laws are being trying to work modified or moving on, many creatives are making their money if they understand the business, and the business involves you getting an intellectual property expert.
Okay. All right, we have been speaking with Mr. Babatunde Akorede, who is a filmmaker and scriptwriter. We also have Mr. Unique Oliver, who is an the president, IP and IT Law Club. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being a part of this. We'll continue this discussion in a bit with another creative and somebody else from the copyright world. Just stay with us, don't go away.
Well, you're welcome.